We are on live broadcast right now.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Nebo TV. My name is Nekme Obasogi, reporting from Toronto, Canada. We're here today to discuss about insecurity in Nigeria. What happened 2 days ago that Nigerian Air Force killed over 20 army officers by accident in strike targeting Boko Haram in the country. So I have in the studio today Austin Osawaro, Iworo, and Mr. Daniel Obakozuwa, all the way from the ancient city of Benin. Thank you all for joining the program today.
Thank
Thank
you
you
very
very
much for having
much.
me.
Good
Okay.
afternoon.
Thank you, Mr. Daniel. Thank you, Austin, for joining us today. So, what happened? This incident is very tragic. Targeting Boko Haram. At the end of the day, they end up killing, condemning our military in the country. So, Austin, what do you think happened here?
The truth from what we've heard so far, they said it was a mistake. But for me, from what I know, as somebody who has worked with the police and the army a little for some years before, as a journalist, one thing I know, it is totally impossible for 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 the army working together, because they were working together, for them to strike on air without the people that they are working with that was on the land, even communicating with them. And the most funny thing is this: where then is the surveillance camera? They were on air. If the fellow army cannot recognize their own fellow army, and they were able to just waste them like that for nothing, then who then can recognize them? I think there are a lot to this, and there's something they are not telling us yet. And for me, I'm still waiting till we hear their commander or their PRO to come and tell us what really happened. For now, whatever is in the media, I don't believe it at all.
Hmm. Okay. Mr. Daniel, so I
Yeah.
know that you live there in Nigeria. What do you think has exacerbated this problem? That they mistakenly attacked their own colleagues during operation. What happened?
Well, it's rather unfortunate that things like this are happening, but whatever we say here is our own suggestion or prediction. We are waiting for the military high command to actually investigate and give us a detailed report or statement that happened in the raid. Soldiers, you remember last time we were talking about the ancient Benin kingdom, we said the
Mm,
Aoba is
mm,
a god, and not just a king or a ruler, is a god
mm,
with mystical powers. How oral history says that because of his warlike nature, the warrior in him allowed this of certain mystical sacrifice, that anyone who live within this, who migrate within the vicinity of the kingdom, will lose the language tongue. You understand?
mm,
And I think that is also applicable to the military. There is a code, even in conventional war, where in the battlefield, in the open battlefield where two armies meet, you understand, they still have a code to recognize their own.
mm,
They still have a code to recognize their own, even no matter what, how close a range it may be. Talk less of an air soldier who is waiting for the response of the foot soldier before they strike. That is what a lot of people are asking a lot of questions. Did they just strike? Did they wait for the command or communication from the foot soldier to strike? Because they are on air, the foot soldier are on the land. You understand? Was their communication corrupted, their code corrupted by the so-called Boko Haram that they eventually get to shoot the wrong ones. So there are a lot of questions for the military high command, to tell us what exactly happened. 20 army officer is not just a joke. There's also a rumor going on that many of these
More than
officers,
20.
many of these young officers are leaving even without the compulsory 10 years because of ill treatment, lack of welfare in the soldiers. In fact, the Kogi state governor was dwelling on it like yesterday evening when I think he hosted a conference of the Nigerian army officers talking about the same welfare, lack of welfare for the officers of the Nigerian army. I think these are questions we are waiting for the military high command, the secretary, to tell us what exactly happened, because it was an attack, a war they were going to coordinated, the Air Force being on the air, the soldiers being on the army being on the ground. And what actually happened that their code corrupted, that they now saw the Nigerian army as enemy and released the strike, or was their communication, infiltrated by the so-called Boko Haram to give a wrong signal to them to strike their own? These are questions waiting to be answered by our military high command.
So my question for Nigerian government is, how many Boko Haram members they have killed like this through this strike?
Wonderful, wonderful. I was almost going to this. We've not heard at any time before where on the media or anywhere that the military mistakenly killed some Boko Haram. I wouldn't call them Boko Haram anymore. I will call them terrorists, because we are just, when we call them Boko Haram, it's like we are still giving them a kind of name, still giving a kind of respect. These people are terrorists, because if you see everything that they are doing so far is totally out of terrorism, terrorizing the whole nation. You've not heard in the media or anywhere before that the military or the police have mistakenly killed some set of Boko Haram or this and all that. And apart from that, again, we see this even when they are arrested. At the end of the day, they either been freed without even people that even arrest them being knowing, or the federal government think of rehabilitating them, say they want to put them again into the same military. You see that whatever thing that just happened now, I've seen before, even in the media, when they said some of them had the plan of they had them totally, they were almost at the verge of capturing this set of some set of terrorists. But they saw somebody among them giving information out, and at the end of the day, these guys were able to now attack them. So there's totally insincerity on the part of the government. And a lot of these people now are also in the military. So Nigeria today, I stand to say, and anybody can believe whatever they want to believe. As we say today, Nigeria today is not fighting anything called insurgency or fighting anything called terrorism in the country. Because if they are, the federal government or the National Assembly will not be thinking of creating an agency for terrorists. Or the federal government will not be putting our money into negotiating with terrorists after they kidnap one set of people. Whenever a government starts negotiating with terrorists, it's totally put to us that the same government is part of it. They are not encouraging the terrorists, they are part of them. Because I've not seen it anywhere in the world, whether in the West, whether in Africa, anywhere. If we cannot negotiate with kidnappers, just naturally, ordinary kidnappers in the state, even armed robbers, they are arrested. Some of them, because they killed, some of them are sentenced to death, either by angry or whatever. Some of them, some jail terms and all that. Now we are not seeing a government where even they don't longer hide it. You've seen some top people from even the north, even some of the man and all that, openly negotiating, saying that they are standing for these terrorists, and they are not arrested. but Chinese who came out and just grant an is common interview to the spokesperson for IPOB, the indigenous people of Brapa. What did they do? Find them and totally suspend them. So with all this, there's the handwriting written in the word that this government that we have today, only they are supporting one thing. They are the one totally just pampering these people. That's why they can boldly do what they are doing. They're doing freely. Have you not seen when what do they call them? The Meyachihala, when they come out and they speak, they talk as if they own the country, that nothing happened to and yes, they make some kind of statement that is supposed to, where in a sense society can even cause problem in the country. But what? Nothing happened. The government does not hold them accountable, and nothing happened. And if you look the entire security architecture in the country, as we speak today, they are totally in the hand of, not just only in the north, they are totally in the hand of the Fulani, and the Fulanis are the one causing the problem in the country. The president, the Fulani, look at everything totally in their hand, and none of them is being arrested. And even when they're able to arrest some few, the government release them again, say they are rehabilitating them, and they now put them again to the military. And we are saying we are fighting insurgency. It's funny. It's totally funny. If the government, if the government or the military has not come out to say this who they mistakenly killed, or this who they arrested at the time, and they killed one of their leaders or other, how come they were able to mistakenly kill innocent soldiers who were on the battlefield fighting for their country? There are a lot of questions begging for answers.
Yes, exactly. We are expecting the army commander to announce what exactly transpired between these armies.
Then after 48 hours, no official statement till now, and you still tell me that you don't know what is going on after 48 hours in a sane society.
Yeah, exactly.
They would have, people that did that would have been suspended by now, or would have even be headed. Something will happen, but things just happen in our country, and nothing. It's as if that nothing. People's life does not make meaning. After 48 hours, no official statement. It's funny.
That is Nigeria. It's very sad that
it's not just only Nigeria. This is the Buhari of now, because it doesn't involve cow. No official statement. If it involved cows, or maybe involved a Fulani Muslim, you would have seen by now something would have come out. Why were they so quick to suspend Chinese and find them? Within 24 hours, they suspended Chinese and gave them a fine. Within 24 hours, the government who could do that. Now life are involved, where over people were fighting for their nation. They were killed innocently. And no official statement from the part of the government yet.
Up to now.
8 hours till now. But somebody who was a spokesman of the IPOB, who did not even kill anybody, only granted a press briefing. Chinese interviewed him, and they quickly suspended China and fined them.
No, is this Biafra movement the problem of Nigeria right now?
You know why?
Is it the problem of Nigeria? Compared to other things going on in the country, the insecurity prevailing in the country over these years. I don't see how Biafra movement is disturbing the government from developing the country or providing services to the citizens, especially insecurity in the country. I don't see anything that the IPOB or their members are causing Nigerians or the country as a whole. I really don't understand this.
It is totally funny that even with the handwriting in the word on the wall, a lot of Nigerians still pretend as if they don't know what is going on. If the IPOB, people who never left their region, they are not in the bush, they are not raping women, they are not killing people, they are not kidnapping anybody. They are just agitating for their freedom, because since they've been marginalized for too long, they just want to be on their own. The government could do not see anything to do. The next day, apart from even attacking them, they also declared them a terrorist group. For what reason? When they were not carrying guns. If that same government were fast to do that, as of today, you have our forests filled with these way people and people raping our women, killing them at will. And yet, as we still speak today, that same government has not even declared them a terrorist group. Even when the world has declared them as one of the most dangerous
group, yes, in the world. Yeah.
Yet Nigerian government has paid a blind eye to that.
They were even planning to rehabilitate them. You remember the other day that they were
they rehabilitated many. They rehabilitated many. They rehabilitated many. And apart from rehabilitating them, they also now employed them into the army. As if that is not enough. Our National Assembly took it to the floor of the House. They were not debating on how to create an agency for them. As if that is not even enough. They are kidnapping today, and you are seeing federal government negotiating with them, giving them huge amount of money. With all this alone, is it not so glaring? Is it not so open to all of us that the government has not only taken the side of them? Why is it that when Nigerians talk about protecting themselves, when Nigeria think about creating their own security net to a different state or different region, or not to protect themselves against these people, the government begin to come in and begin to look for a way to totally put them and say they don't have the rights. Is that and where is totally boldly written in our constitution, where the right for you to defend yourself is part of our constitution. Every Nigerian has the right to defend himself. But on this case, the government cannot protect their people, which is supposed to be the primary responsibility of the government. And as if that is not enough, when the people think of how to protect themselves, the government begin to look for a method on how to totally put them, on how to totally fight them. With all this alone, is it not so glaring by now that this government is a government that is not sincere in the fight against this insurgency in Nigeria? Not just only sincere, is it not so glaring that this government is totally part of them? It's funny. So it's totally part of them.
You have said it all, Austin. You have said it all. So the federal government declared the IPOB members are terrorists in the country, where Boko Haram members who have been killing and terrorizing the country for how many years now, they were proposing rehabilitation for them. They rehabilitated some of them as well. And even proposing foreign education for them, a kind of Western education for Boko Haram members. While IPOB members who are just agitating for secession were deemed as terrorists in the country. That is Nigeria. That's Nigeria. Right now, the Northerners have already taken over the country, and these people, they are not competent enough to manage a country like Nigeria. Mr. Daniel, I will give it to you. Go ahead. Go ahead. Tell us. Hello, Mr. Daniel. Okay, I think his network, there's some issue.
The truth is this: it is not the North that is our problem. It is the about 2 to 3% of the Fulani people who is just about less than 5% of Nigeria. They are the one terrorizing the country. And the most funny thing, one trick that they've used for years, they try to put themselves together as a North. If you look at most of the states that they are totally in control of in the North today, they are not even the majority in the states. Just go around. If you go around among the northern states, even to as far as even just Plateau, that they're totally taking control. They are not majority in the states. Just go around. They truly do not own any northern states. The Hausas are peace-loving people. It's just these Fulani people that are totally heartless. Look at them, even in different places where they are in Africa. Go and look at them. One of their major things is that they are a problematic people. They are people who don't believe in peace. They believe just look around. In Nigeria, go around. Even in Gambia, look around wherever you mention them and tell me where there is peace. They don't believe in peace. They don't think like us. That's why you see them. They prepare their animals more than you and I as human beings.
Yeah.
You saw when a member House of Assembly, the woman was saying these people do not think that that's how they were created by God. That's who they are. They don't believe in human beings. They can keep, they value their cows more than human beings. They can even use their own urine, the cow urine. So you've seen the videos of where you see them, they can even bathe with it and do everything with it. They live
They
with
do
them.
that. They do that. Yeah.
So these people do not think like us. That's the reason why, if we must be able to move forward as a country, these people need to, if we do not share, let us practice true federalism. Let them do their own, make laws for themselves, and let us also live by ourselves.
I like what we said before, Austin, that under the auspices of a northerner, because President Buhari is the president of Nigeria right now and is from the north, they will never accept this idea of federalism. Never, never. The northerners will never accept that. You understand? They will never, because once they accept federalism, resources, many things they will remove many things from the north, which means resources will not go to the northern region of Nigeria anymore. That is why the northerners will never accept the system of federalism in the country. Never. They will never allow that. Look at it. Look at what the type of government that they are running right now. You think these people will accept federalism? Hell no, they would never allow that. But but we cannot continue like this, whereby terrorist group that are from the northern region of the country are being treated as if they are sent in the country, even proposing Western education, foreign education for them. Why people who are just agitating for the secession peacefully are being deemed as terrorists in the country? This impunity, high level of impunity in Nigeria is unacceptable in a democratic society like Nigeria. Enough is enough. Let me bring Mr. Daniel in. Mr. Daniel, can you hear us clearly? Hello?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Mr. Daniel?
Hello, I'm hearing you.
Okay.
Yes, I'm
Yeah,
hearing
go
you.
ahead. I said
Well,
the high
well,
level of impunity in Nigeria.
it is rather
Go ahead. Go ahead.
unfortunate that it is rather very unfortunate that this is the level we have degenerated to. Let me use the word. Yes, we have degenerated to. But if you follow the incident very well, it all began, and that is why up to today, Boko Haram have not been declared a terrorist group. Neither the Fulani Mechaegdi, something like that, have been declared a terrorist group.
Mhm.
That is a problem. It all began with politics. During Yaradua, if you follow the incident very well, when they were coming slowly, Yaradua was able to handle them because Yaradua was not part of any other plan than one Nigeria, even killing their leader. It was when Jonathan came on board and the North, in quote, felt it was a slap on their face, negotiated with these same Boko Haram, believing that if they don't win the election, they are going to use Boko Haram to destabilize this country. That is why you heard a lot of statements from so-called elder statesmen, saying they are going to make this country ungovernable. You understand? At the end of the day, the young man Jonathan, irrespective of ringing here and there, using the young in the north to do in the election, gave up the election so easily, which they never expected. It will be so easy for him to just concede the election. Now, the problem they are facing now is if they can no longer control this same Boko Haram, they have gone gaga and gone white. And that is a problem they are facing. During the time of Jonathan, a lot of stories were coming. Don't forget that even the information minister today reported to the United Nations that Jonathan was killing their houses.
Really?
Yes, yes. Statement that was coming from there. I call them so-called elder statesmen. Today they are now in the seat of power. Words coming out from them. Ungovernable. They are going to turn Nigeria to ungovernable if they don't take power by force. Reporting Jonathan to United Nations that they are killing their people. Yeah, things like that. And now Jonathan is out. The so-called Boko Haram and the Fulani they brought. Have you ever listened to some of them making confession? How they were even brought from other neighboring country for the sake of destabilizing Nigeria? Now it is very, very glaring why the federal government, their hands are tied, even to handle this same case of Boko Haram. IPOB declared a terrorist group because they are agitating for a Biafran state.
The problem,
Boko Haram that have been killing, destroying, up to today, they want to negotiate because they themselves were the problem. They brought this problem upon themselves. They never believe it's going to escalate to the level it is now. That is the basic truth.
All these things going on in
that it's going to. Yes, it has been. It has been just unfortunate that those they thought maybe now they are in power. Maybe they were thinking that it will be so easy for Boko Haram to withdraw. You understand? Yeah, and at the end of the day, they did not withdraw. They keep on doing their killing, even not leaving the north. But we are talking of this today. We are very sympathetic to the north. They are facing here. Unfortunately, most of them are now coming to the southern part to cause mayhem. But the mayhem they suffered. You are talking of the one, the hair strike. Do you not know how Boko Haram entered Niger State? A whole barrack. They took over a whole barrack in Niger State. That it was later the military high command had to evacuate the soldiers from that barrack. These are issues. We just keep praying for this country, Nigeria, and see. Obasanjo, in recent interview, said that it is very glaring that war will soon break up with Nigeria. We do not pray. I never pray for war to break out in this country, Nigeria. The only prayer I'm praying that when Nigerians are fed up, we can gladly say, just as the Israelites between the Judea and Israel said, to your tent, O Israel. I just hope that we'll get to that level without fighting war. You understand? It's becoming so, sometimes one is even very careful to talk so that your traces cannot be monitored. And at the end of the day, your life is at risk and your family life is at risk.
No freedom
of speech. Very unfortunate. These same people who cause this problem in this country, they are now in the helm of affair, in the government cadre. Remember the information minister, when he was not a minister, the words that came out from his mouth. These are issues. We just keep praying for this country, Nigeria.
Nigeria, you know.
Mr. Daniel, please don't do prayer into this issue of Nigeria anymore. When I hear people still saying pray for Nigeria, it gets me angry. I understand because you're in Nigeria. There are some things you cannot say because the truth of the matter, because of a lot of things going on in Nigeria, and I understand very well. But the truth is this:
so we still don't have freedom of speech in that country.
It has never been
democratic government in Nigeria or not?
In fact, one had to be very.
Are we under a dictatorship government or a democratic government? I just want to clarify that.
Nigeria know nothing about democracy. So if you want to talk about democracy, Nigeria, we can never know anything about democracy. You know why? I explained to you one-on-one yesterday off camera. We are not a people that are taught or we are taught what democracy is all about. You don't teach an old man something to do in old age. You teach them from being a child. Even from our school, If you look at children in secondary school and primary school in Nigeria, even their boarding school and all that, they were never taught anything about democracy. How do they appoint their class rep? The school authority just come and impose somebody on them. This one is your class rep. So from their mentality, they were not taught. They know nothing about the democracy. And when we talk about democracy in a country where you are there, if you look at ask your child, they will tell you, they are the one that choose who is their class rep. We're all involved in the process of somebody who became their class rep and all that. But in Nigeria, the proprietor or the headmaster or whoever is in charge just come and impose somebody on them. So the mentality has totally been wrong from the beginning. Our foundation from the beginning is totally wrong. That's why when these people get to a state and commissioners and all that, they know nothing about democracy. They know nothing about being liberal. They don't believe whether you, me, and you, whatever we are saying should be taken important. They are the one in charge. They begin to impose things on us. Even as a lawmaker, who is supposed to be meeting with people of his constituency, at least even if it's once a month, to discuss about things they're supposed to do about their constituency. They take their constituency allowance, they come, use it to enrich themselves without doing any constituency project. Because the people feel, and even our people, because they don't know what democracy is all about. They don't know that this was supposed to be their servant, serving them. They are supposed to be telling people what to do for them. They just come. You see a senator who has been there for over many terms. He doesn't have a single project in his constituency. It is only when an election is coming, just like what they are doing now, with all the loss of lives in Nigeria, with all the nonsense going on in Nigeria, that lives are being killed on a daily basis. Politicians are thinking of 2023 election. The Tinubu and others are thinking how they will become president in 2023. The APC, the PDP are fighting already on who is to be the president, the presidential candidate, who is going to be senator, where I'm going to in 2023, when we are in 2021. And Nigeria, we don't know whether if Nigeria will still be Nigeria even in the next one month. But they don't care. Politicians do not care. Our people do not know what democracy is all about. That's why they don't question these people when they see all these things. And for the case of whether the government cannot handle the Boko Haram, the truth is this: when a government is part of one terrorist group, you don't expect them to fight what they are part of. This is the issue. If the government really want to handle these people, they can. Nigeria military is one of the best in the world, not only in Africa. Nigeria, our military, is one of the best in the world, not just in Africa. And when a government really want to fight these people, so have you not seen the kind of excuse they give? First, they were saying these people are not from, they are not Nigerians. They are from Nigeria, they are from Chad and all that. Since they are from Spain and they are not Nigerians, is it not even the more reason why you should even why you will clamp down on them and finish them? And I see that is not enough. You saw one of the spokesman of the president some years ago, I think about 2-3 years ago, Femi Adedeshino. He said, I'm quoting on a national TV, is it not better for you to surrender your ancestral land than for you to be killed? And you are telling me the government can want to fight insurgency or he doesn't want to do this. If the spokesperson of the president could say that or can say that on a national TV, that for people to surrender their ancestral land to these Fulani ethnic.
Oh, why do we have security architects in the country then? Why?
And
why are we spending money? Why are we even allocating some funds for security in the country if people have to give up their ancestral land for Fulani herdsmen?
That's a big question that is begging for answer. And I see that is not even enough. The same people, the same government were discussing Ruga. How you are discussing Ruga? And this thing is sickening. You were discussing Ruga to spread it all over the 36 states. The question I asked them, when did federal government, what is cattle rearing? What does it add to our GDP as a country? Nothing. Cattle rearing is personal business, not government business. What was the business? What is the business of government with cattle rearing in Nigeria? What is going on in Nigeria is now Ruga in another form, because people did not allow them to do it openly. They are not doing another different way. You saw the governor of I've forgotten the governor of this day saying that in Niger Niger State, saying they've already put on a flag. They put on a flag. These terrorists, they put on a flag already in Niger State, just 2 hours away from Abuja. And in all of this, the same governments are rehabilitating people that they are supposed to even be dealing with. So with all this, if anybody comes anywhere to tell me this government is fighting terrorism, or the government can no longer handle it because they are just trying to, that's a pure lie. The government has shown to us with the statements from the spokesperson of the government, and even how can this man today, somebody that we all know is a religious extremist, Patami, today as we speak, he is still the minister of, he's still in charge of information. He still was not trying to get the data of the over 200 million people in Nigeria. And the government came out to defend him openly, saying it was an issue of certificate forgery. They would have been able to dismiss him. But what he said over how many years ago, he said it as a child. So a 30-something years old man, who everybody knows that from time has been an extremist, where somebody even came up on China's TV, faced him one-on-one and brought out a whole lot of stuff. Yeah, the government came out to defend such a person. But when you come out to speak for your person, like the IPOB spokesman came to speak, they begin to think about it. So with all this on the wall, is it not glaring that the government we have is a government of the Fulani, for the Fulani, and also by the Fulani, and not government of Nigeria, who is for Nigeria?
Shawore is still facing court cases in Nigeria up
For
to
what
date.
is it?
Shawore, ask what Shawore has done to Nigeria.
See, the only reason why Shawore is here alive today, I'll tell you openly, if not that he has a strong tie, part of him is an American.
International community.
About international community, having stopped with even Nigeria is not even the thing. It's because of his strong tie with the international community, where his wife and his family are still in the US, and he have a strong connection. If not that, they would have wasted him long ago.
Long ago, yes.
A lot of journalists are killed. They are killed on a daily basis. Nothing happened. There are a lot. They just waste. They waste them anyhow. Nothing happened. They just kill them away. It's because Shawore has a very strong. That's why you could all see it in the media. There are a lot of things going on in Nigeria on a daily basis that you don't see in the media. You don't get here, but you see in the media. Because as we speak to today, the media is totally being controlled by the government. No longer freedom of speech.
Yes.
If you bring people on interview now, and they're in Nigeria, they are very afraid. They are scared to even speak the truth. You see them, they know deep down their heart. They know
what happened to Chinese lately also happened to ITV a few years ago. Was it not 2019 or something? That they also suspended AIT.
They drove AIT to today does not go to Isoro. They drove AIT long ago, over many years ago. They drove AIT long ago. Even so many newspapers, they drove them away from there because they say this is what they want. This is what we were wanting. You see, when you put somebody who is a religious extremist, who did not really do anything before he became a president, this is what you will get. I keep asking Nigerians till date. I said, I don't know what they saw in Buhari that made them to just say want to vote him in 2015. Because between 1999,
Buhari is not in control of Nigeria. You have to be referencing the northern leaders, not Buhari. He's not conscious of what is going on in the country. Be referencing like that Mohammed and others, not Buhari. These people are controlling Nigeria right now. Buhari is not conscious of what is going on. He's just there. They are controlling
who Nigerians voted for is Buhari. If Buhari is not in control, you see, we have a problem as a people. The politicians is no longer our problem. They are not majorly a problem again. Ahead of 2019 election, after 2015, Nigerians, a lot of them admitted that they made mistake. 2019 election, before the election, the president's wife came out severally on the media saying the husband is not in charge of the country, that Nigerians should rescue the country away from the Kaaba. This is not me talking. It is the first lady of Nigeria talking now. Said this thing, and the video are all over social media. She said a lot of things, and Nigerians saw the state of Nigeria at that time how these Fulani people were being overprotected, romanced, and given a whole lot of things by the government. Is it not the same Nigerians that still went out in 2019 election to still kill themselves, to still be saying, say, Baba, to still vote the same Buhari? Then we are not coming and saying,
point of observation. Elections in Nigeria cannot be free and fair. If you are coming from that angle, if you are coming from that point of angle that Nigerians voted in, I would say no, Nigerians did not vote Buhari. If you look at the result, on a close range, the election was rigged. Let us be very fair to Nigerians. Even within the northern states, it was admitted that Atiku was on the lead, and the election was rigged by the so-called people in their own way. You understand? So that Nigeria did not vote him out, I will not agree with that. Yes, Nigerians did their best, because in the 2015, yes, many of them may have made a lot of
yes, it's true. It was rigged.
It was rigged. Even when results were floating, everybody, every Nigerians were rejoicing that Atiku was leading, because they just needed a change.
Buhari was very close to winning the election.
Winning the election. At the end of the day, when the result came out, they said Buhari won.
Yes.
You know what happened? You know,
the election was rigged.
Nigerians, there's one thing. If you look at what happened to Obaseki, that was the same line it was going, if not for the willpower. One, the willpower of the people. Two, the federal was not even interested in the election. If they were interested in the election, Obaseki would not be the governor of Edo State. They were not interested. See what happened to Fayemi. Civilians were given uniform to handle and beat him up. As a governor, withdraw all security apparatus from him. That is the kind of election we have in Nigeria. So
even in Lagos State, when we saw them on camera, stealing ballot box and shooting.
Ballot box, bullying them at the day of election, and yet you are not cancelling that election.
And yet nobody's been arrested.
You know, there are a lot of things. Just as you said, many of us at home are now becoming very speechless, because you don't know for your own safety. You just put your hand and start looking. Yes, sometimes you have to say where the genesis, the whole thing is coming from. If Buhari is not talking, he has no voice, because he was brought, just as you said, the northern leaders, they said, yes, they looked at everybody that must be credible to their will, and they decided to give it to Buhari. And what does he have to say? Nothing. He has to take biddings from them. And that is what we are passing through today in Nigeria.
So how long are we going to be living like this, pretending as if we are running a democratic government in the country of which democracy is just only in theory, not in practice? We are not practicalizing.
Just as Austin was saying that he is not, we should not be talking of prayer. I still say the hope of every poor man, you say God day. You understand?
When you cannot want to hear that.
That is what he doesn't want to hear, that we should not be talking of prayer. But when you see that your hands are tied sometimes, you just fold your hands and say, well, we leave it to God. Poor man prayer, God day.
I still don't want to hear that. Austin is here.
You know I'm always angry to hear that. You know I'm always angry to hear that.
Yeah.
We don't need prayer to eat.
Okay.
Have you ever seen somebody who wrongly put food in his eyes or in his nose before? No. There are some things God naturally has given to us to be in charge of. You see, this planet Earth. Thank God I'm a Christian. Planet Earth, God does not have the authority to do anything on Earth without our involvement. The Nigerians are praying without taking steps. You see, when it comes to election and putting
without action, praying without action,
to politics and the leadership of our nation, and we are the one to choose, not God. God does not choose for us, because this one is we that choose, and when it comes, is the will of the people. But the issue I have with Nigerians is this.
But there's a theory that says the spiritual affects the physical. You don't believe in that spiritual?
Not in this one that has to do with choosing leadership of your country.
It can also.
Our major challenge as Nigerians is this, and our mind has been programmed in a way where we are too dependent on either the government, one uncle, one auntie, or another. We don't believe, we don't know that whatever thing we need, we are the one to get it by ourselves, not the government to get it for us. Have you observed that? See, this thing we are seeing today among these politicians is a reflection of we as a people. It's a reflection of the decadence on our system, on everything about us. Just look around and look about. And I've been saying this for a very long time. A society that does not reward equity, a society that does not reward sincerity and people living right, we keep on rewarding mediocrity, criminals, and all that. Don't you still we celebrating at different place? You'll be shocked that the same armed robbers, the same politicians that we know that are thieves, they are the one that we celebrate everywhere. Is it not funny to you? I will not come back and be saying, God, come and help us. You are praying to God to come and help you when you yourself, God has given you the will to vote. People go to church to preach, they don't even have voters card. How can you say you are a pastor, you are a Christian, you don't have a voters card, and your conscience is not even judging you, and you are saying you are a Christian, praying to what? To God. Is it God that will not come and vote for you on election day? Is that not stupidity? That's the problem. The Americans know that God exists for them. The Britons, they know that God is there for them. Italians, they know. The Germans, they know. But they still need to go out to at least to see do their civic duty. It's your right. The right to vote is you. You are the one to elect your leaders, not God to come and do it for you. It's funny.
And when you now vote and your vote does not count, what do you want us to do?
Do you know the process we need to follow? Do you know the process we need to follow, sir?
Okay,
for the very first time in the history of Nigeria, you saw in a Edo State election, people around the world were totally interested. Was it not difficult for them to ring? They would have not to even ring it. Do you see as strong as the likes of Kabaka and
yes, they overwhelmed them.
They came out in the field. They couldn't do anything. They were helpless because the people they were involved. The major reason why the politicians try to make this thing scary.
Just as I said earlier, because the federal government itself was not interested in it.
Yes, that is another thing.
So I'm coming. Even the federal government was
world. I've been in this country, I've been into politics. The federal government, do you know what happened in Ekiti? When Fireme was living? You understand? When is it Fireme or Fayose? When he was living and want to bring his deputy?
Yes.
Do you know that even rogues from Benin were giving you police uniform to that place?
Yes.
By federal government?
They said it was Oshomole at that time. Oshomole that transported them to Osun State, yes, at that time.
And they
Fayose
was
attacked.
Yes. The worst the United Nations could do. Is Fayose. They beat him up, injured him. The worst the United Nations could do, or the superpowers could do, was to ban the Fireme, the present governor, from entering the US, and he was made governor's forum chairman. It was recently we got to know that they fixed a meeting in US also. He could not attend because he has a visa ban because the election was rigged. Even an election that was even viewed by a US consulate on Sky saw the mayhem they caused.
Yes, that
just as I said,
really
my brother.
Bad.
As I said, the federal government, yes, the will of the people prevailed in that of Obaseki. Fine. Because they were not interested.
That is your
they were not interested. We
tried let me shock you. After that, do you know, after Edo State election, they did Osun State election, right?
Ondo,
You saw
State.
Ondo.
Ondo,
You saw on
Ondo.
camera.
yes.
You saw on camera where I saw youth who were collecting money and saying, "Make we just vote for this one." This was not what they told me. I saw them with my eyes.
We cover the election on Nebo TV.
After we come out there, now this one be our own. But the question is this: during an Edo State election, we also saw on camera where some people collected up to about 10 to 15,000 naira. They still went there to vote their conscience. This is
you know. Let's be very realistic here. Nigerian, we have a very complex situation. You understand? Edo people, they are educated. I must say, majority
civilized.
of Edo people.
They are very civilized.
We are civilized, not just only Edo, we are civilized.
Yes, if the prayer, when you say prayers don't count, a lot of our prayers worked for the federal government to turn
not
their
prayer.
eyes to that side.
No, I did not mean prayer did not count.
Just for their eyes to be turned to the other side so that the will of the people will prevail.
Prevail, yes.
That was it. You understand?
Yeah.
Like a lot of us were celebrating Atiku when the result flying in overshadowed. All the result from even in the northern state were tempered. They left Satans because they felt their vote was too.
Mr. Daniel, let me bring Benin culture into this theory. That we have this theory in Benin that says that the spiritual affects the physical. Maybe the spiritual in Benin Kingdom affects the physical during the election.
Even the Oba was praying that the election should be free and fair. That was it. It's just the tone. My brother Austin. It is our prayer that Nigerian changes. But there are still some devils within us that they are determined to destroy this country, Nigeria. I am so happy today that even what Obasanjo did in his own as head of state or president now saw the greatest regret and the way Nigeria is turning to. He is now speaking out his mind. There are still some people who does not believe in that sincerity in Nigeria and they are in government. You understand? This is the greatest problem we are. Just as you say that people voted. No, people did not vote Buhari. I can attest to that.
Yeah, they didn't.
They didn't vote. They wanted a change. The leadership, at least since they brought not a PDP brought a Northerner, let's at least test.
That election was rigged.
It's just as I told you about the genesis of Boko Haram. It overwhelmed them, and God bless our former president Jonathan, who considered and they were not expecting it. They were ready to destabilize this country if INEC have declared Jonathan as president. That was it. And now it is not falling back on them. The way the Boko Haram they felt they wanted to use to destabilize another person, it's not falling on them, destroying their government. Buhari has no say because he himself was brought in by these same northern leaders. And that is how the nonsense we are saying in this country, Nigeria, today. At the end of the day, you can see what happened to China, what happened recently about the eastern wing of protesters because of the statement he made and a TV station where people are being paid. It's a private TV station. So for the month they are suspended, those stars will not get their salary. It's not.
And they will also fine. Apart from suspension, they also fine them some millions of naira.
Yeah.
And to even make it
the owner, Momo, will have to cost. They will have to take a pay cost for this period. This is they worked on Nigerians by infliging poverty on Nigerians. That is the basic truth. In a country where
okay, yeah.
The truth is this: if you look at our country, There are a whole lot of things that is going on right. And what did not, something I see today, ahead of the 2015 election, there was the Northern conspiracy to remove Jonathan from power, where the Jaga and all that came in to totally do the gang up against Jonathan. First, you saw ahead of 2019 election, that was when we know that Buhari does not have anything that has to do with even results. According to one of my friends, he said it's NEPA B he used to become the president of Nigeria. You understand? In a country where they want to give you employment anywhere, they will tell you you have to be a BSc holder with how many years experience. And somebody who's to become the president of Nigeria does not even have a common SSC. Then the question I kept asking myself, even till I'm still asking myself, even till date, is what? The people who screened Buhari ahead of 2015 election, what did they use? But ahead of the 2015 election and 2019 election, you saw that there was no results.
One thing about Nigerians, Austin, one thing about Nigerians, we are very quick at forgetting the past.
That's why I said we are the problem, not just the politicians again.
Exactly.
We have a share of the problem.
When people were clamoring for Buhari in 2015, I remember in my church confronting one Nigerian man, say, "Is Buhari a saint?" He said, "No, Buhari is better than Jonathan." This I still remember today. You understand? See where we are. See where we are today. They said Jonathan is no good. They forgot about what happened in the past with Buhari during his military era. Look at Buhari now. We are running a tribalistic government right now with high level of impunity. Those who voted for Buhari, they should take it. They should take it.
I said, to tell you, even me as a card carrying member of the APC, because I did not support Buhari, even as a card carrying member of the APC, I know a lot of people that came after me. I know court boys that I'm not telling you, I know court boys that came after me then because I did not support Buhari. So from the beginning, everything. And one thing I see, we keep repeating one mistake. We as a people. I ask a lot of them questions. Thank God Mr. Adani is here now. I'm still asking them today. What did Buhari, he as a military president between 1982 to 1983. I keep asking them, they should tell us one thing that Buhari did for Nigeria then.
Yeah.
In the 80s when he was a military president. He was a president for about a year and 6 months. What did he do? Apart from arresting the likes of Abu Sali from the south and other governors from the south who did well for their people, that he did not steal anything. He arrested them. Do you know he's the major reason why Abu Sali is not alive today? Put him in the prison. Even when Abu Sali was sick, when he needed to take treatment, they didn't release him. Until the last of the religion and all that went to beg, paid the money that he said so. And when Abu Sali got home, a man that could not even build a house even in his village, even as a governor, then he does not have his own property. That was how Abu Sali died. After everything that he did for Edo people. And as we speak today, all the northern governors then that stole heavily, he gave them presidential pardon, gave them presidential pampery. And these people are dead to.
And many journalists were killed during his military era. Journalists, freedom of speech. You can see the same thing going on right now in his democratic regime. That the same power, the way he commanded power at that time, is the same thing that we are experiencing today. It's reminiscent of his military rule. You understand? No freedom of speech. Journalists were persecuted at that time. The same thing that we are experiencing today. Since President Buhari became the democratic president of Nigeria, we have been experiencing this issue of freedom of speech. People cannot say anything. TV channels are being suspended in the country every day. What the heck is going on in Nigeria? So, for me, I keep saying it, I believe that this administration is reminiscent of President Buhari's military rule. We are still under a military. This is not a democratic government.
Mr. Austin, let me tell you one secret. When Buhari overthrew the civilian government that brought him in, it was not Buhari who overthrew. Every old military officer know that it was the call of Tunde Idiagbon and Babangida. Unfortunately, Buhari was made because of his calmness. The little achievement that was achieved during that administration was not even by Buhari, it was Idiagbon. I believe that was the sentiment that a lot of people saw that said Buhari has done something. Is it why? War against indiscipline. It was by Diagbon. Diagbon held that government until they were overthrown. You know, a lot of them thought Buhari was going to do something because he was not given opportunity. And now they have seen that, with all due respect to him, nothing to show on his card. So it has always been like that, that a lot of expectation he has decided. Even among the North, you will see many of the northern governors, their comments alone tells you that they are even fed up with the
Yes, yeah,
president.
the Northerners, yeah, they are
Yeah,
fed up. They are
they are
not
fed
happy.
up with their
Yeah,
president.
they are, yeah.
So they never expected it to degenerate to this
It's
level.
like, yes, exactly. The Northerners, they are even feeling it the more when it comes to this Boko Haram attack. You know that it happened literally in the northern region. These people, they are dying every day in the hands of militants, the Northerners, you know. So they are not happy. They are not happy as well. So yeah, we have to end this program right now. Austin,
Okay.
it's like Austin is busy there. Thank you, Mr. Daniel. Thanks for all
Thank
our
you.
viewers. So if today is your first time of visiting our channel, please consider subscribing and share our programs as well. Thank you so much, everybody. Mr. Daniel, thank you. Austin, I think Austin is busy over there. So thank you, everybody. Bye for now. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.